Dearest Natasha, at last we are staying at Cliveden, and it's just as wonderful as I've dreamed. Imagine a huge mansion perched on a hill with sensational views over a grand and formal garden. Beyond the trees you see a peaceful stretch of the River Thames. It's extraordinary to think that London is only 40 minutes drive away. A few minutes ago I saw some other people arriving, and I remembered how I felt when we came up the drive towards this great mansion, and I didn't know what to expect. It's silly, I know, and you're not to tell a soul, but I felt quite nervous because it is grander than anywhere I've stayed before. But I'm now so relaxed and happy that Charles is going to have immense difficulty in getting me to stay anywhere else. Cliveden has quite a history. There's been a great house here since the time of King Charles II, and it's belonged to 3 dukes and an earl. It was also lived in by the Prince of Wales. No, not him. This one rented Cliveden in the 1740s. The house was bought by the great American millionaire, William Waldorf Astor, and it was his daughter-in-law, Nancy Astor, the political hostess, who made Cliveden the place to be invited in the 1920s and 30s. There are photos downstairs of the Queen Mother, Charlie Chaplin, George Bernard Shaw, and heaven knows who else. They all came here, and I'm sure they enjoyed themselves as much as us. The bedrooms and suites are perfect. What I like are the personal details. There are lovely fresh flowers, guests' names on a card on the outside of the door, and there's even a drinks tray. When we arrived on Friday night, just as my heart was sinking at the thought of unpacking, there was a knock at the door and a maid popped in and offered to unpack for me. I could have hugged her. Everything's like that here. Just what you want, just when you want it. No fuss, no pressure, no problems. It really is like staying in the very grand private houses one has only read about. As a memento of Cliveden, I bought a couple of little things for myself and some presents for you. This morning after breakfast in the French dining room, I made for the pool. Actually, there are 2. The original outdoor pool set on its own garden terrace, and an absolutely fabulous indoor pool, air-conditioned and ozone-treated. I'd try one of the wonderful health and beauty treatments you can have here. They have a range that includes aromatherapy, reflexology, seaweed applications, and the hot tub. Time just flies by here, and that was the morning gone. Luckily, Charles didn't notice how long I'd been because he was being shown the boardrooms. He said it was ideal. He's thinking of having a meeting here soon. You and I might come on one of Cliveden's special relaxation, fitness and fun stays, where you get treatments and sports, plus room and lunch for next to nothing. And we could all join up in the evening. They do a tempting light lunch in the pavilion where the pools are, but we wanted to try the terrace dining room. The food was delicious. All the staff are so polite and friendly here. They make you feel as if you own the place. I can't think of anywhere else in England you can eat in a room with such a gorgeous view. After lunch, Charles had more business to attend to. He says it's so peaceful here, he does more work than in the office. And I was sorely tempted to go back to the pavilion for more beauty treatment and a swim. But instead, I went for a look around the grounds. The National Trust consider them to be one of their 10 greatest treasures, and there are nearly 400 acres to explore. There's so much to see that Cliveden have made a guide tape, narrated by Robert Hardy, to help you enjoy it.
The water garden has been planned to look beautiful all the year round, so I know you will enjoy it in whatever month you visit it.
kept finding fountains, statues, quiet hidden places, and grand avenues to explore. Every so often I glimpsed the house and thought how amazing it is to be staying here. As someone said, it's much more than a hotel. It's lovely to know Cliveden have horses. I may go riding tomorrow. Oh, there's so much to do. I wish we were staying longer. I also want to have a game of tennis. There's an indoor court that's one of the very best in England, with a sprung wooden floor like a ballroom, put in by Waldorf Astor. Charles and I met some friends, and we wandered down to the old boathouse where the boatman was waiting to take us out on one of Cliveden's wonderful Edwardian launches. I made a mental note to ask Charles about booking one for Henley. It would be simply heavenly to turn up at the regatta in a launch with a Cliveden picnic. It really is the most glorious stretch of the Thames. In the afternoons, one can relax in the boudoir or the Great Hall. The stairs are lined with portraits from Cliveden's history. The Great Hall is panelled and decorated with suits of armour, paintings and some fine tapestries which were given to the Earl of Orkney by the first Duke of Marlborough. It would be heaven for a dance. I'm told that some people take the entire house. I long to have dinner in the French dining room because it's so beautiful. A real 18th century French room, which the Astors bought from Madame de Pompadour's hunting lodge. Its carved panels are covered with gold leaf. It's amazing. Last night we tried the Michelin star restaurant, Waldo's. It has a very private feel. There are less than 50 restaurants in this country with such an award. I think I enjoyed that meal most. The whole experience has been wonderful. On the desk I'm sitting at to write this letter, there's a visitor's book. People have come here for their honeymoon, anniversaries, birthdays, or just as we have for a lovely, relaxing stay. They all say the same thing. Cliveden is a sensation. And you know, Charles and I could enjoy all these wonderful facilities whenever we wanted if we became members of the Cliveden Club.